Hi everyone. Today we have a truly special guest joining us, someone who has conquered one of the toughest postgraduate dental entrance exam in India with exceptional determination and focus. Meet Dr. Srikant Iyer, the proud achiever of All India Rank 2 in NEET MDS, a true role model for every dental aspirant. Dr. Srikant Iyer will be sharing his preparation journey, strategies that worked, and the obstacles he overcame on his path to this remarkable success. So, whether you're preparing for NEET MDS or INI-CT MDS or any competitive dental exam, this conversation is packed with golden tips and motivation that could actually reshape your preparation approach. So grab your notebook, get ready to be inspired, and let's dive into the success story of Dr. Srikant Iyer, journey to All India Rank 2 in NEET MDS. Welcome to the channel, Dr. Srikant.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the lovely introduction. It was great. It is great to meet you. It is great to give an interview.
Oh,
I'm thankful to you to able to give me the opportunity to guide others to the best of my abilities.
yeah. First of all, big congratulations on your outstanding achievement. My team and everyone, all the viewers who would be watching this video, are excited to hear about all your experience and really learn from your journey. So, my first question to you is that can you introduce yourself and share your NEET rank and score?
Yes. Myself, Dr. Srikant Iyer. I did my BDS from GDC Mumbai, and my NEET MDS 2025 score was 761, and my All India rank is second.
Oh, nice. So, what inspired you to pursue your career in dentistry and specialize in MDS?
With respect to dentistry, I didn't have any goal to get into dentistry. It's like any other student who didn't get an MBBS seat and decided to do dentistry. Like
Okay.
I wasn't fixated about doing MBBS, so I got a good BDS government college, so I took it. Then regarding MDS, I felt that after my BDS, I felt that just doing BDS isn't enough. I wouldn't be able to give the justice to the patient. Like the field is so much intricate, it has so much information. Like at just a BDS level, I can't give the best treatment possible to a patient which it deserves. So I was like, I need to do MDS for my confidence and also for the better treatment of the patient. So I decided that I want to do MDS for a better treatment and for my knowledge basically.
So, when did you start preparing for NEET MDS and how did you divide your preparation timeline?
I started my preparation right from the internship itself, but the the preparation wasn't like a smooth journey. I started like the first like my internship started in September 2023. So in September 2023, and I had joined a classes called CDs. So the classes started from November 2023. So I started my preparation in the like the zeal key. Yes, I start studying. I'm going to crack this. So in the first 1 to 2 months, like studied. I in the basically I didn't solve any MCQs, but I used to follow all the lectures that sir uploaded. But later on, after 2 months, it came down. I like for 3 to 4 months I didn't study anything. Then again 1 to 2 days I would study. Like it was an up and down journey. So by the end of internship, I would say I had completed my pulse around only 20%, like till my internship completed. So my internship completed in September 2024.
Okay.
Then in that period, it was an on and off thing. Like I didn't have any specific goal. I have to study or daily this much hours. I was like, I'll do my internship and I'll do the studies how much ever I can, how much it is possible. So I just made sure I do all the lectures that were uploaded in the CDs. Then I made sure I give that weekly tests. Like starting, it was like every 2 to 3 weeks there were tests, and then later on weekly tests were there. So I made sure I give those tests properly, even though I didn't study or anything. I didn't have that much time to study or solve the MCQs from Pulse, but I used to give it for the sake of it, just for learning. I'll learn something better. I get the experience. So that was during my internship. And during the end of the internship period, I started studying properly. Like daily, I used to give at least 2 to 3 hours during my internship, lasted 2 to 3 months. Like the postings were also easygoing postings. I had time. So I used to give time during those postings also. Then after my internship, I started studying properly. Like in October, I started studying properly by solving MCQs, reading the synopsis. These were the first time I was reading any synopsis of the Pulse. Before the internship, I didn't even think of reading. I'll ever read synopsis.
Okay.
Then slowly, I started picking up the pace. I started solving MCQs. I didn't have any specific goal, but I used to do it. Then my at that time my main focus or goal was ki I had to study a bit according to my INICT exam because in November INICT exam was coming. I didn't have any hopes. I hadn't studied Pulse. I didn't do anything specifically for INICT. I was like, only I have 1 month. Okay, I'll give this 1 month specifically for INICT. I'll do the lectures, the test series, and I tried to do PYQs, but I didn't get any time to do the PYQs. And I went for the exam.
So, which books and online platforms did you rely on the most for theory and MCQ practice? I know you have mentioned Pulse, but did you use any other books like DentCart and for AIMS preparation and such like that?
Like for in regarding the books, the Bible is Pulse. Apart from that, I didn't study any other book apart from Vivek Jain for PhD. For PhD, I did Vivek Jain because I had the time, I had the leisure time. Like in during my internship, I had the time, so I studied it little bit. I solved around 300, 400 MCQs from that, and also the theory, a little bit of theory part from there. It is a good book for concept for biostats and epidemiology. It is very good book. So if you are lacking in theory over in those topics, then you should refer Vivek Jain for the epidemiology and biostats topic.
Okay.
Then apart from that, I tried to do Sparsh Gupta for pharma,
Mm.
but I was very overwhelmed by the size of the book, by the amount of the MCQs. So I tried to do only 2 to 3 topics, and then I stopped. I was like, I can't do this. If I do this, I won't be able to revise it in the future. And Pharmac is a subject. If I don't revise it, it's useless. Even if I do the entire Sparsh Gupta and I am not able to revise it. So I was like, I'll keep my Sparsh Gupta aside. I'll do the Pulse only and the notes which I made from the lectures. Regarding the classes which I don't joined, it was series, and I feel it was the best decision. Like, it was the best decision for me to join that class because I didn't have to make any specific strategy or plan to how to daily chalk out my studies. They used to give weekly tests. I used to study according to those tests. Like if I have a Sunday, I have an exam of pedo, I'll study pedo. I'll just solve MCQs. I'll see the lectures. Read the synopsis and like this. So I didn't have to really break my head. What should I study first? Then what essay?
Okay, nice. So, how did you revise and retain subjects like general path, pharma, dental materials, and oral path, micro, biochem? These are some quite few subjects that every student faces
Exactly.
problem with retaining so much
Yes.
information. I was also one, like, I was also NEET aspirant back then, and I struggled a lot with these subjects. So tell us, what was your
Yes.
strategy?
Uh, for me also it was very difficult, especially general path, micro. I was like micro, though I would be like, oh my God, how can I remember all these things? So I feel the first golden rule should be less is more. Like the more in such kind of subjects, the less you take in, the more you will be able to retain. Don't try to go everywhere. Don't try to go and learn from different books. Keep one single book, even if you are referring to some books for your betterment of understanding. Make sure that everything that you learn should be in a single book by the end of the day. Like before the exams, you shouldn't be referring to different books, especially subjects which require a lot of information or a lot of retention. You need to revise those subjects, and either in order to revise those subjects, you need a book and you need a place where you have written everything. So for me, that was Pulse only. Like near the synopsis page only, I used to make the extra notes. Like I didn't I made sure that I didn't go to any other book while my revision period. That mainly helps in retention. Like if you make the notes very concise and small. Like if you sometimes you think I don't remember this, and then you go to the page and find out, this you read, and then by the peripheral vision you can see, this information I had also forgot. I also get this. So more concise and more single place you have the notes and the information, it is better for you to revise later.
So, what was your strategy for solving MCQs daily, and how many did you aim to solve per day? So, for this question, I would like to know how many MCQs you started in during your initial phase, like during your internship, and how did you pick up your pace of solving more MCQs per day? So, how did you
Okay.
do it?
During my internship, as I said, I rarely solved any MCQs. Like
Okay.
I barely got any time to solve MCQs. I mainly focused on the lectures and concept building during my internship.
Okay.
I didn't give more attention to the solving MCQs. Then after my internship, I started solving MCQs. That was also wasn't very specific key. I want to solve 200 MCQs, 500 MCQs, 1,000 MCQs. I just did like if I feel like I need to do this topic, I complete those topics. So on and around, in the start of my preparation, I used to solve around 400 MCQs, 500 MCQs a day after my internship.
Uh,
Then later on, it increased a little bit, but it never crossed 1,000. Like my max would be a single day I could only solve 1,000 MCQs. Above that, it was like it all got clustered.
okay.
So around 500 to 1,000, the increment was like that.
So, did you used to solve 1,000 MCQs of one subject for the whole year, or did you divide it to different?
Yes, yes. In fact, I would study a single subject for a week. I can't study like I'll study this and then I'll study this and this. I can't do different subjects. Like if my focus is on this subject, it is better to continue this. So there is some kind of correlation,
Oh,
and it helps in better retention also. I feel for me, it's like that.
okay. Okay. So, you said that you used to solve synopsis MCQs and then weekly test and all. So, like, did you used to add the questions from the test series and the weekly and the extra
Yes,
MCQ that was given in CDs? So,
yes, yes.
how
But
did you
very
inculcate
selectively.
that? How did you like inculcate it, and how were you selectively adding those MCQs into your Pulse MCQs? What was your strategy?
Yes. Like in the start, I refrained from taking any notes from the MCQs of the test series because in the start, you are not very knowledgeable to gauge that this is important. Everything you see is, oh, this is very important. I don't know this. I need to note down. If you start doing it from the start itself, you will have a 100-page book of your notes itself. So in the start, I was like, okay, I'll just solve. I'll just see. I'll get an basic knowledge ki, what is important, what kind of questions are asked. Then later on, when I understood ki, this is the concept which I'm little bit dicey about. I need to make notes about it. So in the later phase, I started developing the habit of making specific notes about specific topics and specific MCQs, so that I don't get the burden of revising those in the end. I have to revise my notes, which is of 100 pages. That shouldn't happen.
Okay. So, how did you utilize the previous year questions? Do you think they're still relevant when it comes to the NEET MDS upcoming year questions?
Yes, like not specific the previous year questions, but the previous year topics. Like when you solve the previous year questions, the concepts of those topics are very important and they are repeatedly asked. Like from the basics itself, they are asked often. Like you can't miss the previous year questions and the topics. You need to study it. Without that, you can't crack it. You need to study the previous year topics.
So, can you specify different topics for every subject?
Okay. Mm, like I can't say any specific topic. Like right now, I can't get any specific topics. But every previous year question, each and single every previous year question, you should be keeping an eye on it and being thorough with it.
Okay.
In
Okay.
every subject, the previous year questions, each and every previous year question, you should be thorough with it.
So, for the next interview session, we'll be moving on to the time management and the routine that you had. So, can you walk us through your typical study day and how many hours did you study? And most importantly, is that how did you avoid the burnout?
Okay. So during my internship, I didn't have any plan. Like I used to do my clinic work and all. If I got time, I used to study. But most probably it wasn't that much. Like 1 to 2 hours some days, not even every day. Some days I used to do 1 to 2 hours. That's it. But the main preparation started after my internship, where I used to study. Like I'm a night study person, so I used to sleep at 3 to 4 a.m. Then I woke up around 11:30, 12:30. Then I used to do my exercise, my physio. Then I used to eat my breakfast. Then I used to decide what to study today, what should my goal for today. Then around 2 o'clock I started studying, and 2 to 4 I studied. Then 4 to 5 I took a 1 hour break. Then around 5 to 8, 8 o'clock I used to study. Then 8 to 9 I took a break. Then 9 to 11 I used to study. Then 11 to 12 I took a break, and then 12 to 3 or 4 I used to study. And even though when I say I used to study like 5 to 8, so that period is not key. I'm fully focused and studying. I have a very short attention span. I study for 15, 20 minutes, and
Same.
then I walk around. I think something else. Then I'll come back. So it is not like I used to study like 12 hours continuously with focus. But overall, if you say I gave around 10 hours, like 8 to 10 hours, I used to give every day after my internship.
That's amazing.
And regarding the burnout thing, I feel you will feel burnt out, but I feel the good thing I did was keep during my internship phase and didn't pressurize myself to study, study, study. I just did my studies if I felt like. So that helped because I didn't uh, use up my mental energy during my internship, so I could use that mental energy, that mental strength, that capacity to study later, which is more important. Like during the end of your exam, it is more important that you have the mental energy to revise and study. If you get burnt out during those period, it is very tough to crack the exam. You need to be vigilant. You need to have that mental energy during the last phase of your preparation. So it is okay during your internship if you are not able to study. Don't force yourself and get yourself drained out that you can't study later.
Okay. So, did you follow any particular revision strategy like a three-phase or a spaced repetition method that generally people talk about in the internet and our professors will talk about it? So, what was your revision like? And how many times did you actually revise, to be honest? Was it like 10 times?
No, 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 no. It was like I solved around only 2 to 3 times. The pulse I solved on only 2 to 3 times, not like 10 times. Like, I didn't have the time only to. Like
Okay.
I started my proper preparation in the end of my internship. So
Okay.
from the end of my internship till the exam, it was not like for me, it was not possible to completely revise like 10 times. I am more of a quality over quantity person. So I
Okay.
used to study slow. I used to go slow. I used to read the explanation. I think about it. How can this question be asked differently? If this question was asked this way, what would be the answer? So I went very slow, but I did the first time read was a very good read. So that the second and third time it didn't take that much time. So I solved around 2 to 3 times. Like some subjects I solved around 4 times, but on an average, 2 to 3 times I revised Pulse.
Okay. So, what was your test series rank like from the very beginning?
In the beginning, it was around 500. During my internship period, it was around 500 to 1,000,
Uh,
like my rank. And I used to think, okay, this is what I will be getting also. But I was like, ki, I need to get beyond 400 or 200. That was during my internship. My goal was ki, I need to be in the top 400 or at least in the top 500. Because at that time, I was not able to get a rank below 500. but I wasn't putting much of a pressure on me. I was like, okay, this is only my internship. I haven't started studying. So, okay, it's okay if I get also 500,000. Sometimes I used to get a below 500, but very rarely. So then after internship, when I started to study, I realized then by that time I had the knack of solving MCQs because I have given so much tests. Like I know which questions to leave, which questions to not leave, which questions can should be attempted and not never left, never should be left. Even though they are tough questions, they should be attempted. So that gave me an extra edge, like repeatedly solving MCQ. Because in my college, I used to speak to a lot of people, and they used to tell. I used to ask them, Did you give the test?" So they used to say, "No, I didn't study, so I didn't give the test." I was like, "I also didn't study, but I gave the test because I feel tests are for learning and not for judging yourself at the start of the period. During the start, it is more of a learning phase, not of a judging phase, judging yourself. So it is important to never miss your test series. It is very important to give your test. So by the time of the end of my internship, I got a pretty good idea how to solve MCQs and all. So after that, and also I started solving MCQs, started studying the synopsis. So my rank got better and I was consistently below 500. My rank was consistently below 500. And to my surprise, like when after I had 1 month for INICT. So during that 1 month, I used to get a rank of below 500, but not never below 200 or 100. So I was like, okay, I'll give INICT. Now I got the confidence key. Okay, now even though I haven't solved Pulse completely, I can still attempt a good INICT paper. So I went and attempted, and I was like, okay, I'll do fairly well. I don't know how this was my first proper competitive exam. I don't know how I'll do. So then after the results came out, I was shocked. Like even like for my NICT, I had solved only 50 to 60% of my pulse, and I didn't solve a single PYQ for my INI. So I was like, in INI, PYQs are very important. You need to do it. But I didn't do it because my main aim was NEET MDS. So I was like, I'll refrain from doing PYQs. First, I'll do the basic of the subjects. So after I got the rank of 54, I was like, how is this even possible? Like, just with a knowledge of 50 to 60% of pulse, how can some, and I didn't, in the test series also, I never got a rank below 100. I was like, oh my God, how has this happened? So that was a very a realizing period for me ki, okay, knowledge is not everything. Mindset is also plays a very big role when you give an exam. During the day of exam, how you appear the exam, how do you uh, think, that spontaneous thinking, that ability to solve MCQs is very important. At that time, I realized ki how important that is, and it is not just a knowledge game.
Wow. So, what were your low moments during preparation, and how did you stay motivated through them? Did you like have any self-doubts, and what kind of mantras did you like tell yourself every day?
Yes, definitely. Everyone goes through a low period. It is like it is given. Like if you are preparing for a competitive exam, you are going to go through low phases.
Yeah.
You just need to accept ki, yes, they are going to come, and I will come out of that. I will be above that. And for me, more than the studies, I had like for me, it was my health that was more disturbing to me during my studies. Like I have a knee injury, like a ACL tear and a hip labral tear, because of which I can't walk or run, and I can't sit for more than half an hour continuously. So I can't study for half an hour continuously sitting on one place. I used to get up, I used to walk, and it was a period where I was like, will I get over this? Will I get the energy to sit during the exam? Like in exam, you have to sit for 3 hours. So I was like, that was a more mental trauma for me than the study. Like studies is a one part key, self doubt, ki will I able to do it? But at that time, for me, it was more of my health, which was undermining me. So regarding that, it is basically you just have to accept and you have to have that mindset key. You have to tweak your mindset accordingly. Key. No, you have to find the positive in the most negative things also. And that's what the preparation teaches you. During the preparation phase, it teaches you key even in your low phases, you have to find the positives, and which also helps in your life in your life further. So that you need to understand. Like you need to tweak your mindset. Like people say manifestation. Yes, it works. Like if you tell your mind, okay, no, I will do it. I will do it. It works. You can fool your mind to do it.
Okay. So, coming to exam experiences, how was your actual NEET MDS exam experience? And was there any surprise or tricky sections?
Uh, Before the exam experience, I would like to tell an experience before that. Now, before the night before the exam.
Yeah, sure.
Like I was very chilled out. Like I was like, "Huh, I have prepared. I have done very well. I can do this." Like I had the full mantra, like, "Huh, you have to think positive," and I was positive. But for some reason, I couldn't sleep a single minute before the exam of my night,
Oh,
and
no.
it stressed me so much before the exam. Ki, how am I able to use my mind if I haven't slept a single minute? It was so frustrating. It was so scary. Like before leaving for the exam, I vomited thrice. It was like
Okay.
yes, it was a very scary moment for me. Like the whole 6 months I had prepared for this, and a night before the exam, this has happened, which was unexpected. I was like, I was calm, but still my mind was so stimulated that it couldn't sleep at all. Then, while traveling for my center in the car, I was like, okay, now it's done. I haven't slept a single minute. You can't crib over this. You have to be positive. Being negative only will bring negative to you. It will affect your exam. You have to be positive. Then I thought, okay, a single sleepless night won't affect that much of my preparation. So I was like, okay, I'll able to do that. I will change my little bit of strategy. I'll go through the questions twice so that I don't make silly mistakes because of my lack of sleep. So that was the thing that I completely went ki I have to be positive, otherwise I won't be able to crack it. Even though it was a worst situation, I need to find some positive in it and be positive ki yes, I have prepared for 6 months, I can do it. It has not gone all waste because of a single sleepless night. I can do it. So I went with that mindset and appeared for the exam. During the exam, this was the first time this was a new pattern, like the section A and the section B was splitted with a time-bound section. So during my test series, time was never a problem for me. But during the exam, because of my lack of sleep, my reading was slow. I had to double check the questions and the answers that I have marked. So I had a bit of difficulty in the time management in the first part. Like I realized, ki, oh, I'm going very slow. Like around 50, I solved 50 questions, and the time was left around 35 minutes only. I had to solve so much more questions, and I was like, oh, I need to pick up the pace. I have to solve more 50 questions in 35 minutes with the lack of sleep I have, with the lack of attention, the attention span. So I was like, okay, now I have to solve the MCQs faster. So I was like, oh, I don't have the time to double check now. I'll just go with my muscle memory. The first thing that comes into my mind, I'll mark it, mark it, mark it.
Okay.
And after the I attempted my part A. In my part B, I realized that I made this mistake in part A. So in part B, I didn't make that mistake. I didn't give a lot of time to a single question,
Oh,
even though I never thought that I would be in a position where I would face a difficulty in time management, because in my test series, I never, not even a single test series, I had a difficulty in managing my time during my exams. So that was a little bit of scary. Like I was like, oh shit, I am not able to manage my time, and I haven't practiced it like this. Like I have never experienced difficulty in time management. So I was like, okay, nothing can be done. I have to solve it. I solved it. Then regarding the questions, it was of easy to moderate difficulty. The part A was, I felt, was easy, but the part B, as it was a clinical question, the answers are very subjective. You can't pinpoint ki, this is the answer and I know I'm marking the right answer. So that made part B a little bit difficult. Otherwise, there were no surprises as such, except for a few questions which are obvious.
Okay. So, what are the three mistakes students should avoid during NEET MDS preparation?
During the preparation, the first of all, that like I said, you need to give your test. No matter which classes or any classes, you need to give the mock test right from the start. There are no excuses like I haven't studied, because it doesn't matter. Like if you have studied and you give the test and you get all the questions right, then what is the point of the test if you already know the answers to this test? So your mindset shouldn't be, ki, if I have studied everything, then only I have guilt test. The tests are not for you to decide ki, if I know, then only I'll attempt. In fact, tests will improve your ability to answer those questions which you don't know. So it is better if you, from the start, if you give a test and attempt those questions which you haven't studied, but still you can use your mind, the previous, like you have studied for 4 years, applying that knowledge and arriving at an answer. That is the main aim of the test. Like during NEET MD, like in the final exam also, the questions that are easy that you know is going to be marked right by all others. The main deciding factor comes when you are able to answer a question which all a lot of people don't know, but still you are able to answer it. And this skill you develop only by giving test series in that pressure. Then second thing I would say, be prudent while doing your preparation. Like I've seen a lot of people do in the preparation phase, they'll study from this book, that book, this book, that book. They'll solve pulse everything. Then during that revision phase, it becomes very difficult. So that is very important. You need to be prudent. Like you need to think before starting a subject, before picking a book. You need to think, will I be able to revise this in the future? If not, avoid that. Just stick to the pulse. Otherwise, don't do it. If you think you won't be able to revise it in the end, don't start with it. You're just wasting your time. And third, I would say, mm, that's it.
Just follow our motto.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Srikant, for joining us today and sharing your incredible journey to securing All India Rank 2 in NEET MDS. Your story is actually a perfect blend of hard work, smart strategy, and unwavering dedication. I'm sure you would be a true inspiration for every dental aspirant who is watching this. From steady schedules to mindset, especially, your insights were nothing but short of gold. We are sure our viewers will walk away feeling more motivated and better equipped with their own preparation. So, we wish you all the very best for your future endeavors in MDS and beyond. May you continue to shine and inspire many more people. So, thank you once again for being here with us today.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity that I can guide some other people. Like, I don't think so. The takeaway from this seminar should be key. People should follow the strategy that I followed. The takeaway from this should be, doesn't matter if your strategy is perfect by the societal norms, you can still achieve a rank which you thought it was impossible. Don't overthink yourself.